Welcome back to Fight Network. Cody Saftik here with you. Bellator 162 goes down Friday, October 21st from the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. And joining me now on the line is one of the main card's feature attractions. It's Ryan Couture. Ryan, thanks for dropping by the show today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Now, you are back in action October 21st. You'll be taking on dangerous submission threat Goiti Yamauchi. Now, you've always been a guy who gets ready at Extreme Couture. That's obviously the namesake gym. That's somewhere that you've always been able to put camps in. So how is this particular camp going in your preparations?
It's been going great. We've been, it has been interesting trying to find the right training partners for this matchup. We have so many, guys who are great wrestlers who are, more that style at our gym. That's kind of sort of our specialty. That finding some guys that are comfortable playing off their back and that are a little more submission minded and submission oriented instead of wanting to just get on top and punch you in the face has taken a little doing, but we've gotten a good group of guys together that have really been giving me a lot of good looks, and I'm feeling great about the fight. I'm really excited to get in there on the 21st.
Well, especially at your weight class and being at Extreme Couture, you have a lot of guys that are getting ready at this particular time for fight coming up. I mean, we got Michael Aaron, Logan Storley, Gray Maynard, Noah Lahad as well. And as you mentioned, finding that right mix of who are the guys that are going to be able to pressure me with the wrestling as well as be able to play off their back with the submissions. Noah Lahad, obviously a great guy for that. But who are some of the key guys that have been helping you get ready for this fight?
Noah's given me a lot of great rounds. He's really looking sharp. I'm excited for his fight next month too. And we've got Dan Ige has given me some good work. Whom I forget. Dominic Tim is actually an up and coming amateur kid on our team that I think actually has a very similar style to Yamauchi and has been super helpful and given me a lot of good work. Another one of our amateurs. Wolfgang Steele has been really pushing me in the gym as well. And then even guys like Brian Caraway, who's a little more of a wrestler, but he's got great jiu-jitsu as well. He's been able to put me in a lot of those situations that I expect to potentially have to deal with in the fight. So we've got a great crew of guys all really doing their best to help me out and give me the looks that I need to be ready to go.
And how much does that add to your confidence? I mean, you're a guy that's always taken big fights, but when you go into a fight, one thing that, fans have noticed is that you're very cool, calm, and collective and someone who has confidence. Do you get that from the rounds that you get in the gym, knowing that you're working with world-class training partners and coaches on any given day?
Yeah, absolutely. We get in there and get after each other and kind of put each other through hell every day. So, even a really tough fight is going to have a hard time being harder to get through than the training that we're doing. So, I'm always confident knowing that I'm well prepared and that I've done the right things to be ready and to make sure that I belong there and that I'm ready to go. So that really helps me kind of stay calm and just stay focused on executing.
Well, you've always been looked at kind of as a team captain for some of the guys, but I know that you're also a coach at Extreme Couture, helping some of the younger fighters get ready for their fights. And being that you guys are a big gym, a destination gym, you always have bodies in the gym. Is it hard to kind of switch hats and be like, okay, you know what, I got to get myself ready as a competitor, or is it just business as usual? How do you find that balance between coaching and competing as an athlete?
It's sort of business as usual. I take a little bit of a step back from the coaching side of things and we'll get classes covered periodically when I feel like I need a little bit of rest and that. But, so it's a bit of a juggling act, but nothing too crazy. I have a lot of fun with the teaching side of things, and that's something that over the last year and a half or so that I've really kind of picked up more and more of that I've really, really enjoyed and found rewarding. It's a lot of fun.
Well, we've mentioned on October 21st that you will be back in action at Bellator 162, taking on Brazil's Goiti Yamauchi. Now, obviously, it's certainly on paper when you watch this guy, certainly tape on the guy, he's a very dangerous submission threat, and most people try to avoid that element with him. But you yourself, you're someone that has never been submitted. Is this something that when you look at him, you think, you know what, I can grapple on the same level with this guy, and I'm open to that? Or is it, at the same time, I don't want to play into his hand?
No, I definitely will have to be cautious and really mind my P's and Q's once we do hit the ground, but that's absolutely where I want to take the fight, and I'm looking forward to testing my skills against someone that caliber, and I think I'm prepared to come out on top and come out ahead and not only do some damage once I take him down, but also potentially submit him. So I'm looking forward to that challenge and kind of that chess match that we'll get to play, and I think that's going to make for a fun fight for the fans and definitely a fun one for me.
Well, absolutely. Bubba Jenkins had a similar game plan of just don't be afraid of that ground game, and it worked especially well for him as well. Obviously, with every fight, and you're someone that's fought at the highest levels and all over North America, whether that be the UFC, whether that be Strikeforce, someone has a big name, but at the end of the day, people are always going to refer to you as the son of legendary Hall of Famer Randy Couture. Is that something over time you've been able to embrace, or is that something that you really want to crack into the top 5 of Bellator and kind of break away a little bit from?
That's something that I definitely embrace. You know, I'm proud of everything he accomplished and of the example that he set. And he's been a big part of helping me in my career. So that's not something that I shy away from at all. I think it's been interesting to see, you know, the more and more I accomplish and the more I'm able to do, kind of the more accolades I'm able to rack up in my career, the smaller percentage of each interview that I give is devoted to those kinds of questions and to talking about that. So that's been sort of the cool thing for me to see, is that as I have more and more of a body of work of my own, then there's more of me to talk about. And so that always kind of gives me a good feeling of accomplishment as I move through this journey that I'm on.
Well, you're certainly definitely carving out your own path, and a very good journey it is. The last comparison I just kind of want to draw with your father is that you're currently 34 years old, and it seems like you are definitely coming to your own. Randy, your father, obviously around 33, 34 years old when he made his MMA debut, and he was just known for that longevity, that his body was able to last. He's always picking up new skills, and he's someone that, even though he got into later into his 40s, he was still winning major national titles. Do you feel in some ways that you're following that similar trajectory where even at 34 years old, you are starting to peak physically and mentally as a fighter?
Yeah, I think to an extent. I'm also definitely picking up some of those sort of telltale wear and tear injuries and just those aches and pains that I have to work around in training. But I think definitely mentally and technically I'm coming into my own and continually getting better. So I don't know that I'll be still fighting in another decade like he did, but I definitely don't feel like I'm nearing the end either. So I'm going strong and I'm excited about it.
No, and fans are very excited as well. So my last question for you, Ryan, is that with 155 pounds in MMA in general, it's a very stacked weight class. Bellator is no different. You got names like Benson Henderson, Michael Chandler, Derek Anderson, Josh Thompson. The division goes on and on. You with a big name and someone who is a very skilled fighter who is, with the big win over Goiti, put yourself right in that mix. Is that title shot something that you're working towards? You want to jump into big fights with the top end guys? Or are you okay with where you're at right now, which is, take the smart route and slowly build your way up to the big fights, undoubtedly?
I'm happy either way. The title shot is obviously the goal at the end, but I'm willing to take whatever path Bellator thinks is best to get there. There's a lot of exciting matchups. All those names you mentioned are incredibly tough guys and guys that I'd love to take on at some point. So, I'm just taking it one fight at a time and looking forward to seeing what opportunity comes up next.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan. That was Ryan Couture back in action, of course, on October 21st, live on Spike TV at Bellator 162. If you want to catch him in action, be sure to tune into the main card, which starts at 9 o'clock. And Ryan, thanks again for all the time, and we wish the best of luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.